1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 8.
Hey guys, it's Saran Ellen here, and in today's video I'm going to be speaking about nutrition and the relationship that you may have with your food and how we can start to establish a healthy relationship with our food. This is for anyone who may struggle with emotional eating, binge eating, and is desiring to improve their relationship with food, to start to really allow nutrition to nourish us, and so that we have more control over the food that we're eating, and cultivating a deeper understanding of our emotions versus allowing food to control us and using food as a vice. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this topic because we can talk for hours about emotional eating, but what I really want to give you guys today is some journaling prompts and some tools to start to increase your awareness and your mind to body connection, to start to understand why you may be reaching for food and unconsciously using food as a vice, and how we can start to really start on the path of healing our relationship with food. And as I said, controlling that relationship versus having it control us. And this is really close to my heart because I myself really did struggle with a binge eating and emotional eating disorder. And I've come out the other side, and there was a few steps that really supported me in cultivating this healthy relationship with food, where I feel like I'm really at the point now where I choose to eat the food that's going to nourish my body and my soul, and I'm not in this unconscious state where I feel like I don't have control over what I'm doing with my nutritional choices and how much food I'm eating based on my emotional state that I'm in. So the first step that we want to start to cultivate is a mindfulness practice, which you'll see in a couple of videos back. The power of mindfulness, guys, is it's going to really allow us to increase our awareness of tuning in to how our emotional state is asking ourselves, how am I feeling at the moment? And with the emotional state that I'm in, what is it that I need? And so from mindfulness is when we start to develop this mindfulness practice, is we actually start to become the observer of our life, and we start to become the observer of the different patterns and thoughts and feelings and sensations in our body, and how this supports us in healing our relationship with food and cultivating an even healthier relationship with food if we're quite well established in this space, is it's really going to support us to see food as medicine. And so the first tip, as I stated, is cultivating a mindful practice, is breathing in and breathing out and allowing this mind to body connection to bring us more into the present moment. Number 2 is bringing awareness into how our body is feeling. Without awareness, guys, we're unable to make change. So what I want you to start to notice within yourself is when you go for that tub of ice cream, or when you are desiring a fatty McDonald's burger, or when you're desiring, and when you know that you are eating past the point of fullness, is starting to do the best that you can to introduce a deep centering breath into that moment, and we want to pause. This takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of practice and discipline. And it's really, really important to start to get down to the nitty-gritty details of why we are choosing to have food as a vice to suppress these uncomfortable emotions that we might be feeling. And you may be watching this video now and start to realize, oh wow, I actually have an unhealthy relationship with food and may not have been aware of it before. This is perfect. We get to have compassion for ourselves here, because as I said, without awareness around any action or behavior that we may be doing on a day-to-day basis that doesn't serve us, then we're unable to truly create long-lasting change. So celebrate yourself in this moment, or in the next moment when you realize, I really do want to start to have a healthy relationship with my food and my behaviors and my habit around this. There's a few journaling prompts that I'm going to give you guys. So if you have a journal and a pen, pause this video and write these journaling prompts down. Number 1, what are you actually hungry for? This is quite a big question. A lot of the time when we're reaching for food and our emotions are in a heightened state, is we can shift our perspective and ask us, what am I actually hungry for? Am I desiring sweets? Am I desiring fatty foods? Maybe with the sweets, I'm actually really just desiring a hug. the fatty foods, we might just be desiring to move our body and move that stagnant energy. What are you actually hungry for? What is it that you truly need in this moment? Second question, why are you eating this particular food? It may then correlate back to, this was my favorite food when I was a child. Or maybe this is the food that my mum and my dad used to cook me when I was a little girl, or this is my grandma's favorite home cooked meal. And then I want you to ask, how do I feel after I eat this particular food? And this is where that mindfulness comes in. With emotional eating as well, it becomes a habit. So I want you to start to take note and start to write down as you're watching this video, pause this video. What is your habits around food? Do you possibly have breakfast, lunch and dinner and then are a late night snacker, or are you snacking throughout the day? And so even just from starting to get an awareness of the different times that you're eating and how much food you're consuming, or are you having takeaway 4 times a week? And what type of takeaway is that? Is it fatty or sweet? Is this going to start to bring our awareness to what we're actually choosing to consume? Because we can do this unconsciously without fully being aware of what we're consuming. So by putting pen to paper, it actually triggers a signal in our brain where we start to bring this unconscious pattern to the forefront of our minds. And now from this awareness, I want you to journal, now what do I choose? I choose to take a step into creating a deeper, healthier relationship with my food. And what this looks like is investing in a coach. What this looks like is filling out a food diary once a week. What this looks like is telling my partner and my family and friends, like, hey, I've realized that I don't have that healthy relationship with food and I really want to work on this. Are you able to hold me accountable if I tell you what I'm going to start to work on for the week? So I hope this helps, guys. Relationship with food is a really, really big topic to speak about. And the biggest thing that we want to start to cultivate is mind to body awareness, which is our mindfulness, is starting to appreciate the food that we're eating and deepening that connection with ourselves and with our health, the relationship with our body, and becoming aware of the emotional state that we're in and truly asking ourselves, what is it that I need right now that I'm not giving myself? Pausing, taking a breath, and truly practicing that resilience. The last point that I want to put in here that I forgot to mention is, because it's a habit, we want to replace a habit with a habit. So if you're a late night snacker like I used to be, or can be as well sometimes, I love a good little piece of chocolate, is we can replace it with a nice warm cup of tea. Because a lot of the time when we are desiring food, a lot of the time it's comfort eating. So how can we give ourselves that comfort through something else that is still going to give our body those sensations that we're used to? Having a nice warm cup of herbal tea is a great trick, or brushing your teeth right after you have dinner, because I know a lot of us don't want to eat after we've brushed our teeth. So I hope that these tools and tips have helped, guys. You may want to watch the video again, write down your journaling prompts, and just know that whatever is going to resonate with you will jump out at you from this video, and not all of these tips are for everyone. So I hope that at least one of these tools is going to support you with your relationship with food. And please reach out as well if this is something that you want more support around as well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.